Good evening, my friends. I hope you are all well today. Today we want to talk to each other about an important topic, which is the types of penis length and the difference between the type that remains constant in size and the type that changes and grows when erect, which is known scientifically as shower and groove. But before we go into these details, I ask you to support me by liking the video and writing me a comment telling me your opinion about me as a doctor, explaining the information in an easy and simple way. Don't you think that the topic is a bit complicated? Don't forget to share the video so that it reaches more people. Well, first we must understand that the size of the penis is a very important topic in men's lives, and many of them link its size to the idea of manhood. The topic does not only depend on the size of the erect member, but also in the state of relaxation. And this is what we notice in men in places such as saunas, jacuzzis, changing rooms in the gym, or swimming pools. At that time, they stay together and they increase their sizes. Okay, let's now understand why there is a member that is very small and compressed in the flaccid state. But when it becomes erect, it increases 3 or 4 times. At the same time, there is a second organ that appears large when flaccid, but when it becomes erect, it increases a little, maybe 1 or 2 centimeters. And this is exactly what I was saying in the title. Scientists call these 2 types, the Grover type and the shower or firm type. The Grover is the member that is very small and compressed when flaccid, but as soon as it gets an erection, it increases noticeably and reaches 3 or 4 times its size. As for the shower, or what we call the firm type, it looks large and noticeable when flaccid, but when it gets an erection, it increases a little, 1 centimeter, 2 centimeters, or 3 centimeters at most. Okay, let's start from the beginning and understand what happens during an erection when a man is aroused. Blood flows into the blockage called the corpora cavernosa along the penis. This process not only makes the penis rigid, but also makes it more elastic. And when does it also make it grow in length and thickness? Scientists have explained that there are 2 main types of expansion or erection forms. The first type is the organ that is very small and compressed when flaccid. But as soon as it becomes erect, it grows clearly, reaching 3 or 4 times its size. This is what is called the Grover or growing. The second type is the organ that is basically large even when it is flaccid, to the point that sometimes it is visible from under the clothes that Jackie is big. When it comes to becoming erect, it increases a very small amount, maybe 2 or 3 centimeters, or at most 3. This is what scientists call the shower or fixed. Listen, guys, the terms that I mentioned, like shower and grove, are not basically official medical terms, meaning they are not used in medical references. But what happened is that they were mentioned in scientific studies published in an international journal specializing in sexual dysfunction research in America in the year 2016. Let me return to the subject of the shower and grove, or in other words, the fixed and the growing. What is the difference between them? The studies that it was found that the growing member or penis is very small and compressed when it is erect. But when it becomes erect, it grows 3 or 4 times its original size. Scientists have also noticed that in certain areas of the world, especially areas where the weather is very cold, such as Northern Europe, North America, and Russia, most men there have a penis of the growing type, and this goes back to the history of biological evolution. Because in very cold climates, the penis is compressed and small when it is flaccid to adapt to the weather. But when it is erect, it doubles in size, clearly reaching 3 or 4 times. And scientists have said that in contrast, in warmer areas such as South America and Africa, and places where it's very hot, most men there have a penis of the shower or fixed type. Why then? Because in hot places, the atmosphere itself makes the member while flaccid stay larger and expanded. So when an erection occurs, the increase is very simple, 1 centimeter or 2 or 3 at most. And this is what scientists have explained as the reason for the existence of two types of expansion. In areas of extreme cold, the member is small and compressed when flaccid. But when erect, it grows 3 or 4 times. As for in hot areas, the member while flaccid appears large, but when erect, the increase is simple, a centimeter or 2 or 3. Okay, let me say something very important for men and women alike. This topic has grown a lot in the comments, and I have responded to many men about it. Frankly, guys, the issue is not a matter of length or width. Your wife has psychological and emotional needs before she has physical needs. If you are able to provide her with psychological and emotional security and meet these needs, believe me, it will not make a difference to her at all if your member is long or short, or if it is 13, 15, 16, or even 8 centimeters. This issue does not concern her. Why do men think of him the way he is? Because studies say that in marital and intimate relationships, about 70% of women, God created them, reach the peak of ecstasy and pleasure through clitoral foreplay. That is, the basic ecstasy for them comes from foreplay, not from the length of the penis. In the comments, they wrote to me, "You are complimenting men at the expense of women." On the contrary, I do not compliment anyone, neither men nor women. I am saying what science and medical studies confirm. Indeed, length and width are not the main thing. Women care about many other things before the size of the penis. So why are men convinced that size is important? And why do women also believe this idea? Because in our schools and universities, we were never taught proper sexual culture. Most of our information we got from pornographic films, and these pornographic films bring abnormal people who have had operations or supports or take stimulants and strange medications. Very few people have a penis that reaches more than 18 centimeters in length, and this, in fact, 1% or 2% of the world's men are. But when we watch these movies, we think that this size is normal, and we are convinced that length and width are everything. And this is a disaster because pornographic movies are not a good source of information or sexual education. I would like to add an important scientific piece of information here. The longer the penis is than normal, the more painful it is for the woman and reduces her pleasure. This is because 70% of women reach orgasm through ejaculation, and only 30% can reach it through stimulating the vagina in addition to intercourse. You may not know that there are other types of orgasms for women other than the one you think of, such as nipple orgasm, G-spot orgasm, and also the orgasm that occurs from deep kissing. That is, a woman can reach complete pleasure and orgasm through kissing, stimulating the nipples, stimulating the vagina, or even stimulating the G-spot. That's why I said it before. Like this, and I repeat, neither height nor thickness is important. What is really important are 3 basic things. The first thing is to exercise regularly so that you have a strong erection and good blood flow to the penis. The second thing is to maintain a healthy diet with protein, fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, and beans. The third thing is to get enough sleep at night, from 6 to 8 hours. As for the numbers that you write to me in the comments, like I'm 14, I'm 15, I'm 18, I'm 20, I'm 25, believe me, these numbers are not important. The numbers that concern you are your blood pressure, sugar, cholesterol, and triglycerides. If your blood pressure is high, or your cholesterol and triglycerides are high, or you have diabetes, then your erection will be very weak or even non-existent. It is not important to brag in the comments that your height is 20 or 21. But the most important thing is to go and do blood tests and measure your blood pressure and sugar and see these results. Because these things are what will affect your sexual potency and your relationship with your wife. As for the subject of the shower and the pimp who I told you about it, American studies have shown that there are two types, the pup or the growing one, which is small and compressed when flaccid, but when erect it increases 3 or 4 times. The shawat or the thudget, which is large when flaccid, but when erect it increases by 1 or 2 or at most 3 times. I hope you liked the video and benefited from it. Tell me in the comments what you think and what topics you would like me to talk to you about next. If you liked the video, like it, subscribe to the channel, and activate the bell button. Bye, my friends. I love you all.